In this webinar, we will see how BDB Platform helps a business user getting insights from messy data. First of all, we need to know who is a business user and what are their needs. In any enterprise base, it's a business analyst or an application user or a department manager or a risk manager who understands the business data completely but may not be aware about the IT nuances. This means that they cannot write code, and they're always looking for ways to help a department operate more efficiently and more effectively. So business offer is often untrained in using BI tools because the classic BI tools have been very complex and different type of tools are there, and one input doesn't go easily with the another output. So it becomes very complex for them. And these business users generally help in making the reports for subscription user and govern dashboards for the CXOs. If a BI tool empowers a business user, then it can help in improving the reach of BI in any organization, which should result into better performance across all the departments. So therefore, there is a need for a BI platform that can help them use the system in an easy, efficient, and affordable way. And we can provide them basic training so that they can get fully equipped to perform in-depth analysis. BDB Platform is the world's first completely integrated business analytics platform for business user, which is intuitive in a way that data ingestion, cleaning and transformation, visualization, mobility is achieved through our AI-enabled search program, through our data transformation and cleansing techniques. In this way, a business user can get the exact result or a visualization on top of millions of rows of data. We'll see how do we do this. So we will first see it through a data preparation product where we will be able to see profiling, transformations, and a lot of other things. So let's directly jump on and see how the data transformation happens. So this is my BDB platform. What I will do here is I'll go to my data preparation layer, and I'm starting from a completely new thing. And I say I'm creating an input file. I will be having another input file because I wanted to merge or create a join between the two. I want to give this input file a source type MySQL, and I want to connect with a database where I have kept a hiring data. So this is the data I have got it from my recruitment sheets, and my recruiters have put this data into my MySQL, and I've connected this as first input. And as some people have joined in my organization, we have kept the records of their monthly salaries into another table into MySQL. So second, I wanted to do it with monthly salary. And once I have connected with these two, I can do a join, a left outer join between these two on, because the candidate ID remains the same, and we can just join it at that level and then save this workflow as experiment 2 workflow into my own workspace, and I save this. Once I save this, so this means that I'm able to integrate these two input files or input data, and then I can write into an output. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to modify this data a little bit more, and I will launch my data profiling tool. So when I'm launching my data profiling tool, it starts executing it, and it is loading all the data. So it will just generally load either all the data or up to 10,000 records. And what it is trying to do is through basic machine learning and all it is trying to do, it has started profiling the data in such a way that it will be able to find out how many rows are proper, how many are blank, or how many are wrong, and then it will start doing the color coding. And as we will keep on doing the profiling exercise, we will be able to see the different type of patterns that will be coming out from the profilers. And we have more than 50 transforms available in our product right now. You can see that something you can do it on columns in terms of concatenations, conversions, data cleansing, dates, modifications with integers, numbers, and strings. And there will be a lot of search and replace type of stuff. And what it helps is, it helps you record all the type of steps. So what happens exactly is, suppose in the profiling tool, if the data is more than 10,000 records or it is millions of records, then whatever steps we will be doing to modify this data, all these steps will get recorded, and then all these steps can be implemented on millions of records and can be saved inside a different type of database, which we call it as transformation through our ETL tool. So you can see that there's a lot of data profiling is going on at present. And that's what we were saying, that apart from that, it will be having a lot of charting information in case of profiling, where it will show which type of record, how many records are there. So that will give you an idea in terms of, okay, suppose some rows should have like date field, but if it is not having date fields, it will be able to show that these many rows do not have the date field. And you will have a lot of information. You will be able to find out some data pattern, and then you will be able to do export to ETL or Elastic in a direct manner. So we can see that now the profiling is over, and let's start with some of the data transformation technique. Here, what I wanted to do is I wanted to find, search, and replace. One second. From an operator where 0 is male, and I will just submit it. So what it will look is, it will look all rows where in this column, operator is 0, and it will convert it with male. And it has done it. Now what I will do is, there are few numbers are there where I have females. I have done that. Okay, and then what I have to do is I'll just convert this into a title case, so that when I will create my reports, so that I can get M and F more capital, so it looks comparatively better. Same, I will do it for source. So there also it will just convert into a title. Same I'll do it in case of designation. So what I can do in this manner is, I can just keep on looking at all my columns, and because these are the values which will get plotted against the charts, so I can just have a look at all of my columns and then see, okay, if this makes sense for me to do the visualization of this type of a data. Then I will have previous organizations, skills, a lot of other fields. And this field is of special interest to me because it is the actual joining date. But we can see that we have written a lot of 4th January and all that. So there's a lot of search and replace sort of thing we will have to do it to make this as a proper dates. What I can do is I can do a regular expression and I find out an operator where SG, ND, RTTH, I can just replace that with space and I'll submit it so that this date column will be comparatively better. So you can see that I have done a little bit of a mistake because I have not put the space. So what I can do is I can undo this. So I have done an undo and now I will replace this with a space so that the format is of a date format. And now we can see that this is the date format. Now, when I will be creating a report, I wanted to have joining status given to the joining status field given. So what I will do is I have to find out when people have joined. So what I will do is I will just fill the cells and I'll find out a fill cell equation. And yeah, this is the column and this is the actual joining date column. And then I will be able to get this column here into my joining date. Correct? And then what I can do is I can, now wherever I have got a date, I can put wherever I have a date, I can put them, replace them with joined status. So I know that wherever there is a date, it is joined. People have joined there. Sorry, I will have to use a regular expression rather than value. Now here I have got all the things as joined. Now if I look at actual joining date and see some sampling data, you'll see that some texts and all other things are also there. So I'm not interested in these type of texts. So what I can do is I can go here and I can replace all of that with nothing and submit it. Now once I have done it, I can see that probably I will have an experience year and I don't want all these experience years into decimals. So I'm just putting them a ceiling with 0 so that this will be a round figure. And all my joining status is already into the proper format. So I think now I am almost ready that this is my file which I wanted to use it. What I can do is I can just export these steps into the ETL, which is my ETL here. And once I have done the ETL part here, so it will be able to save everything here. Now I have to write that into an output format. So what I can do is I can write them into an output format. And I could decide what type of format is this. So here I am doing it as elastic because it's a proprietary database where I can do the conversion, and I can say experiment 2, and here I can see whatever fields are coming. Since I connected candidates, 2 fields here, so it's candidate 1 is getting repeated. I'll close this. Even ID I don't need, and I can just look at into all the type of fields, and then I'll say okay, this is fine, and I can just create it. So once I create it, this gets created here, and what I have to do is now I have to just go and execute this workflow. Now this execution process has started. Since it's a small data, it has written that into the Elastic. And what I can do is now this data should be available to me immediately, and I can create a self-service BI, and this is what I will do. Now it will just ask me the data store, and I have just saved this in experiment 2. So here I will have to see whether I have, I have the data or not, and I can just see that my data is there, and I can see okay, this is a gender-based data, and charts properties is okay, and I'm fine. I'll just save it. When I have saved it, this is absolutely working fine. And what I can do is now I can think of creating some more charts, and I'll do designation wise previous CTC and offered CTC, so that I can do some comparison between them. Let's say I limit it to 15 and try to understand the problem created by my. No, I think I have not done it properly. Let me just see it. Some of the previous and some of the, yeah, so this means that we have been paying much more now. And I can change this. Now the main factor which is more important here is the AI-based search. And here I can just say monthly salary by team. Monthly salary by team. And then I can see that it has automatically created. And then what I can do is I can just go slice it one more round, and then I can get monthly salary by team and by skills. And I can just attach this with my business story. And if I go and see it here, it is there. I'll just give some space to it. And this is how I can just do it. Now, if I wanted to use a mobile workflow, I can do the same with a mobile workflow as well. So with the mobile device, and let's see through the mobile device, can I create some more charts? So you can see my screen now, and I will say, show me top 5 team by experience with male employees. We can see that it has listed the names of the teams with gender is equal to male. What we can do is we can even change the chart type and save this. So once I will save this, it saves the view has been saved to the story. And when I look at my mobile, it has saved this on the mobile. And once I will refresh the business story, I will be able to see that. But before that, let's try one more. Show me name, USD billing, monthly salary of employees where experience is greater than 10 years. Now, what I have tried to find out in this, like if I try to click on this bar, it will clearly say that the sum of the USD billing and of the monthly salary for different employees. So this much level of complexity of the queries can be easily identified in real-time basis. Now, so what I will do is I will just save this again, and we'll see if this comes into the normal business story. So if I just move away from here and then just refresh my business story, which I was experimenting with, I can see that these two charts have come. And what I can do is I can just make them bigger and better. And I can just save this. Now what I wanted to do more is I wanted to add a drill feature on the gender. So I can go edit this, go into my actions, and will make interactions in such a way that now all these charts should be able to drill on the basis of this existing chart. And let's say if I wanted to do it for males, I will be able to drill on the males, and you can see a red line below all the charts has come up. And if I do for females, you can see a green line below all of this is coming up. So it is that simple. We can see that we started with a messy data, and now we have come up on a mobile device and charts completely in just 30 minutes. Any questions?
Yes, thank you for the demo. We have a couple of questions, like in the data preparation part, how many transformations are currently available, and how is your roadmap looking like?
We have around 50 transformations that we have done, and now what we are planning is to come up with a little bit more complex transformations. So we will have SQL-based transformations for a little bit more advanced data engineers.
Okay. And now coming to the data preparation side again, I have one more question. Like, I have created one workflow. Can I schedule it on everyday basis, or do I need to come to the data preparation every day and do the transformation again and again?
Yeah, you can do the scheduling on the basis of the frequency you decide. And at the same time, once all these reports, everything is there, there is a bursting feature is also available. So even report bursting will also happen. So all these standard features of an analytics platform is available here, which used to be there classically present in any of these big platforms we have been talking about over the years.
I have one more question regarding the limitation. So is there any limitation on the number of sources or the number of records in the data preparation?
Okay, so I will split this into two questions. One is the number of sources. So in our ETL tool, we can have as many number of sources as you like to have. And when it comes to the data volume, yes. So basically in terms of data volume, you will have to size it properly before you can add a very large data set. So what will happen is data prep is still taking a sample of 10,000 records. So we will be able to create all those 10,000 records, and we will be able to record these steps here. And when we will apply, then these steps will go and implement that on millions of records. So it will take a little bit some time, and then it will get implemented, all of it there. So I think you can, if you manage it properly, you should be able to do it, for large set data set and many different databases.
One more question I'm having, that is regarding the collaborative feature. So are we having the collaborative feature in the business story?
See, as I was trying to show you some more features, drill down features, there are a lot of other features are there. You can do the shared views, and when you go onto the mobile, you have annotations and then ability to share on the mobile and all that as email. And we have basically provided micro blogging also. So for example, I will say this is the real-time data prep demo. So now if I just go and save this, then this will get saved into the microblogging stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.